chasing dreams long forgotten, take it off. What happened to the fun, to the flow? It was there before. Wrong time, state of mind. Wrong time, state of mind. Wrong time, state of mind. Wrong time, state of mind.
So Tekla, what's the name of your new album that you released?
Well, I'll tell you, Michelle. The album is called Trouble in Time. Would you like to see a picture of the CD? I will hold it up.
Yeah, let's do it, girl.
Ta-da!
Nice. And what was the single release off of it?
We did 3 singles. One was Let There Be, which is the first track, and then the other was, what was the second one? It was Trouble in Time, which is the title track. And then the third was Wrong Time, State of Mind. And yeah, they were pretty much almost all written last year. A couple of them actually were written when Trump got elected the first time. Mm-hmm. You know, like totally all the same kind of feelings of like, this is crazy, this crap that's happening right now. So it fit to put them in there. But yeah, they're very much like, you know, what's going on right now? The world's so crazy. That kind of is kind of the vibe of everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
Great. Yeah. It's exciting.
It's, you know, it's out there. So
it's
in the world now. The baby has been birthed, and
it's even in Japan. Did you get play in Japan?
Yeah, and I don't know how that happened. I don't know. The guy tagged me though, like on Twitter and Instagram. He's like, playing today or whatever, and I was like, whoa,
That's
cool.
so
yeah,
cool.
We played in Korea too, which was weird. I think, you know, I sent it. I hustled really hard. I sent it out, and I approached it like as a radio PR person. And I've learned a lot over the years of making music, and have refined like how to approach it, like making a really solid one sheet and getting press quotes, and you know, it just so yeah, I did send it out to a lot of DJs, and I found like specific shows that were like more sort of, because it's very rootsy. It's like upright bass, guitars, and you know, basically, you know, drums, guitars, vocal, very stripped down. So I would like find the radio shows that were playing that kind of music, and you know, tailor it to them. And so yeah, it was played a lot in a lot of different places. So that's good. It's definitely, you know, it's like rewarding. Feel like, you know, you made something, and you know, it was received and appreciated. So yeah. Next, I don't know. I'm definitely in that, like, kind of like you were saying, Heather, where you're sort of like regrouping, you know, where you're like kind of getting into that like introverted feeling. I feel that now, like, hard, because this was such a big cycle and a big push, and like kept me so like engaged and motivated, and you know, like, you know, driven. And then now that that's all done, I just feel like, what do now? I don't know, you know, totally.
Just rest.
Yeah, right.
It's so hard though. I just have a hard time. I don't know if you guys have that.
Practice is what it takes.
It does take practice, and you have to remember to celebrate your success, and totally. Like take a vacation somehow. I mean, in this day and age, but yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give yourself a pat on the back.
I've done that. We did that. We along the way, every time we got another notch or something, we were like, all right, time for some champagne. We had a lot of champagne in the last few months, just to be like, let's make sure and celebrate it. But yeah, it's you know, I think because music has been like my thing, it's like when the process of releasing it is done, then there's an emptiness kind of, where it's like, oh my God, what else am I, or who am I if I'm not like doing this thing, you know? So it's you know, it's an interesting cycle. But I think I've talked to other creative people. I have a friend who's a set designer, and her life has been, you know, she's theater, and her life has just been like, you know, like it's just not happening. But she's been doing little bits of things, and she's saying how the pandemic has really accentuated these cycles where you like go through those falls, like when you have a big release show and then it's all done and you just kind of like feel kind of depressed the next day or whatever. It's like the cycle, you know, but how it seems like the pandemic has definitely kind of accentuated that. So
oh yeah, it really has.
And also maybe pointed out that this is something that we really needed, you know. I think we're probably, a lot of artists are going to come out of this better and more resilient. I think it's taught people how resilient we actually are in situations where we are completely out of control, you know. Jolene, what you doing back there, girl?
Sorry, we're like having a serious conversation and she's like, oh, let me climb the wall.
Right. Let me show you what's behind this curtain.
It's really just a really busy wall with things on it, but I like, sorry, let me put that up real quick.
Mom, you're not paying attention to me. I'm going to destroy something.
I can help somebody as I travel along. If I can help somebody with a word or a song, if I can help somebody from doing wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. No, my living shall not be in vain. No, my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody while I'm singing this song, then my living shall not be in vain.
Ta-da!
Sweet.
Yeah.
We're back in
Good.
business.
Okay.
That's great. I think this is really important. I think it's a great idea. I love that you're making it happen. That's cool.
Well, you know, last year, our last show that we did was like the Monday right before everything shut down.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of shows that we had planned for the year. And we had some really, really great gigs. I mean, October would have been a trip because we would have had 2 shows in that month. One was October 1st and one was October 31st. And we were really excited because we were supposed to play
The Connor Burn.
at Connor Burn, which, you know, would have been something completely different for them and completely different for us.
And we would have filled up the place. It would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have.
You know, And so in this year, we had also added on female vendors. And so
yes. Oh, I love that.
yeah, we could buy something every single time we were at
hell yeah.
Pretty perfect.
Yeah. And so, you know, and then after that, I mean, after everything happened, it was just like, I couldn't get up enough energy to do something every single month.
Yeah,
I just couldn't.
yeah.
Even though like there's nothing but time, it's amazing how exhausting having that much time actually is.
It is, yeah.
It's
overwhelming.
It is. And then you can't really sleep because you're not exerting any energy.
Yeah.
And so, you know, this year, I reached out to Katrina at one point in November, December, like, I have this idea. What do you think? And she's, you know, and she came back with this, and I was like, perfect. Like, whatever it is that we do, let's make sure that we refocus our energy and put ourselves back out there this year. You know, we really wanted to feature women artists that have either, you've come out and support us for years, and then we finally got you on a show last year at the Sunset, which was awesome. That was with Kara Hess.
That was so fun.
It was so much fun. That show was so great. And so, you know, trying to refocus that energy again, you know, and now that things are changing, you know, for the better, politically speaking, you know, things seem to feel better, at least at this point. So I think, you know, bringing this energy back is going to be really important. So
I think it's important that, like, because everything had to stop, it's kind of up to entire communities and individuals to decide what we take forward. So you know, like, things don't just restart by default. It takes, you know, the care and attention of people. So I'm glad that y'all were down to start this back up, because that'll make it so much easier when shows and everything does open. We'll still have this rolling, and we can always put a show together on whatever the next full moon is. If it's like, hey, once it's sunny out, we're going to be outdoors, like, all right, let's do it, you know. But we'll be able to more clearly make those decisions because we started meeting together virtually first. You know, we can keep checking in, keep the energy rolling.
Right. Totally. And it'll also be interesting to see the way that live music comes back as well. I mean, I really feel like there's going to be a huge shift. And I think there are going to be more artist hosted shows than venue hosted shows at this point.
I agree.
I think that it's really, really, really important to like refocus our energies on how we're going to have people receive our art.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, definitely, like, speaking on that, Tyler and I are actually in the works of buying some property like out in Brewster. And there's enough room, and it's right on the river, that we can actually host a small festival. And we have a sound system. We've got like subs, we have lights, we have like we basically have everything that we could just basically be like, all right, we're doing a festival. Who wants to play? You know, and,
you can spend the weekend on our land.
Right. Exactly.
Camp style. Yeah. Fun.
Camp style. Yeah, exactly. So I predict more of those and more house parties.
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
It's
great.
going to be a while, right? I mean, still, even though the vaccines are coming out.
It might be a while before anything is too big, but I feel like a lot of small communities, like if you have, let's say you live out there, you at least have like a default kind of number of people in your regular life. So we could really start by keeping it really small. Like, we are going to just go out on the patio and jam, and it is just for us, but that's still live music.
Right.
So I think it might take that for a while. It might be less about, you know, gathering crowds, right? We're not trying to gather crowds right now, but we do need to keep like singing to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a backyard where we could easily like do a live stream, like have people come over, we're outside and we can play music, because nobody cares about music here. So they're not going to call the cops in the afternoon.
And I think that like all of us kind of getting used to what's happening now. I think that, you know, 10, 11 months in, you know, I think we're finally used to it. And, you know, like I said, I'm kind of waking up from being sad for the whole last year and, you know, trying to reconfigure my functioning in the world at this point. And, you know, art is something that I've definitely missed over the last year, you know.
And so has everyone.
you know, in so many different
Connection.
ways, seeing my friends, seeing the connections. And I think that, you know, going back to creating smaller spaces, more intimate spaces, you know, you can really foster that community idea. So just miss everybody so much.
Oh no.
I know. My gosh. Just like casual conversation. Just that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the last time we actually hung out, Michelle, like before the pandemic was like, what was it? Upshot was supposed to play at the Sea Monster, but it got canceled. And this was the Wednesday right before complete shutdown. And there was, so Michelle was there and Alyssa Martini and like, who is it? Mark at the bar and like,
Daniel Harper.
And
Al.
And Al. And it was just us. And there was no music playing. And we were like, this is the weirdest thing to hang out here and no music's playing. And like Mark locks the door and we're just hanging for hours, just like having a good time. And then little did we know that it was just gonna shut.
That was the last person we'd see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then we went to that gay bar across the street, Changes, right?
We did. But
we wouldn't sing karaoke.
There was karaoke. We're like, I'm not
touching the mic.
I'm putting my mouth on that mic.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we're disinfecting it. I'm like, I don't want to inhale bleach or COVID.
Yeah.
I'm like, gross.
We're like, nope.
Yeah.
That's as far as we go.
That was it. That was the last
That was
night.
it. Yeah. So
what was the last thing
so
you
crazy.
did before you went into quarantine, Tekla? What's the last thing you did before do you remember?
Oh my gosh, I haven't thought of that in a while. I know we had a show, I think it was in February at the Royal Room. That was kind of the last like show that I did. Oh, and then I remember I had, because I play at the airport as some of you do, and I think I had to go renew my badge, and I was like, it was like right when all this was starting to be like, and Jeff's like, I don't know if you should go to the airport, but I decided I should go do it because if I didn't go, then I'd miss out on that income or whatever. So I remember doing that, and then that all like got canceled, and we were doing virtual gigs for the airport. I can't remember like kind of the last things that were happening. It was just all so, I got really sick right before I was like sick for like a week in bed, like really sick. I think I had the flu, or maybe it was COVID. I don't know. I mean, but we all, right before this too, Jeff and I played for a solid week at the, or most of the week at the Northwest Flower and Garden Convention. We had gigs there. So that was right before I got really sick. And then it was like everything shut down. So I really, like, we kind of thought maybe I had the thing at that point. But yeah, I can't remember kind of the last like hang with a bunch of people. Because it's just like, that was normal back then. We were just like always out and hanging and seeing other people play. And at
the last time I saw you was at the previous Blood Moon gig, which was at the
downtown,
Central.
Central.
It was Maya. Yeah. It was Maya's birthday.
Yeah,
it was Maya's 25th birthday. Yeah. Who was
really
that?
Shayna Shepherd was there.
Nicole Swims was on the gig.
Nicole Swims was on there.
And
there was like
came over.
Yeah, there was like a bunch of people there that came out, which was really cool. So
yeah, Maya was on the gig because it was her birthday, and then us. Yeah, we actually had some new people on that with us. We had Amy Denio with us. We had Kate Olson with us. We had who else was on that? Who was on drums that night?
Who was on drums?
There was a girl that looked,
because it wasn't Heather,
mid-20s with long hair. I think I didn't recognize her.
Oh, it was Ruby.
It was Ruby. That's right.
We had a bunch of, we legit had so many new people. We had Janie, who had played with us before on guitar.
That's right.
But yeah, we legit had like a whole new band for that night.
Yeah, it was just like you and me, and then a bunch of
new people. Good job, Michelle. Good job booking that gig. It was great. Everything was good, but it was still, it was like, all new people.
There was a moment where you looked at me freaked out, like, I don't know what we're doing.
It was interesting, like kind of remembering some of those nights. And I know that Tekla, you probably wouldn't know this, but Heather and Katrina probably might remember, like some nights I would freak out before I would get on stage. Like I would be having anxiety attacks not all day long before I would get to a gig. And then like I'd get to the gig and I'd be like, and then sometimes I'd look over at Katrina while I was like, girl, I just can't do this right now. Like I can't do this right now.
You were like, maybe it's a bad idea to book on full moons. Because the very first one that we did, the very first full moon, like 2 years ago or however long
at the high dive,
I straight up was flowing like hardcore on my period, and it was a blood moon, and I'm like, oh God. Yeah.
Right. They say you're not really supposed to sing during that time anyway.
Really?
Yeah, I think Alicia would always talk about that. She was like, something about it makes it your body gets fatigued a lot easier. It's really not great for singing.
Huh. I didn't know that. Huh.
Well, you would think it would be the perfect time to howl at the moon.
Right?
Yeah, maybe it's like, what kind of singing are we talking about? Is it
exactly,
like,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wild. Julia Francis style.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Right?
Bring it out.
Right?
We'll have to get her.
Yeah, she was supposed to do a gig with us this year. She was totally going to be on the roster. Stephanie Ann Johnson was supposed to do a show with us with Brianna Sky, in April at the High Dive. And, it's been interesting because like they kept reaching out to us each month. They would like reschedule us until it was just like, all right, High Dive's closing. Right.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Are any of those venues, which ones have any of them closed down, or any of them still holding on?
I heard the High Dive was
done,
but I mean,
I'm not.
I mean, I heard from somebody who was booking there. So
also Nectar. I know that Nectar is still up and running at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had just bought the High Dive. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Sea Monster, as far as I know, is still viable. I'm not sure what the deal is with it. Columbia City Theater, that's closed. But the guy who owns that, I think the guy who owns it's owned it for like 40 years at this point. But they're closed for now. I don't know what the situation's going to be. That building is always inevitably up for sale, but he never sells it. So I'm not sure what the deal is with it. Royal Room, I think, is still doing okay.
Yeah.
Chop Suey's done. Seems like
Chop Suey, is it?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about Numos. I don't know about the Tractor. I mean, the Tractor owns Connor Byrne, the Sunset, and what Numos owns, Barboza, and what's that one in Belltown that they own?
Belltown Yacht or something.
No. The Yacht Club?
No, they don't own the Yacht Club. I don't think the Yacht Club's going to make it.
Not the Jewel Box.
I know Screwdriver closed. I know Screwdriver closed down. Yeah, I am talking about the Jewel Box Theater.
The Jewel Box, yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So who even know? I don't even know. That'd be a good question, though. I know that there is an article a couple months ago stating who got money,
I saw that.
Yeah. And it was, in classic Andrew style, he was like, I just have to give it to my fucking landlord. What the hell's the difference? Right. He's like, it doesn't help me. I have to give it away. So what's the point?
It's for paying payroll and mortgage, right? Like that's what
essentially. Yeah. I think so. besides the, general, crappiness of the situation, I'm glad everyone's okay. I mean, that's all we can really ask for at this point until we see each other again,
Yeah, totally. I had a moment recently where I was at Fred Meyer in the like medicine aisle, I think, just walking along with my mask, and then the speaker came on and it was like, attention shoppers, da 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 da, wearing our mask because we're doing our part in keeping, whatever, people safe. And I just had this moment, like, it was like no one was around. It was like kind of dark, and then announcement in the mask. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in a sci-fi like horror film right now. Like, when it just hits you, where it's like, what is happening? It's really just, it's been so,
so surreal. I totally get that.
Yeah.
COVID-19 and blah, 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 blah. You even hear it as a commercial when you're playing music. You're like, wow, it is. I agree with you. It is kind of like a sci-fi moment.
Real. Yeah. Yeah.
Just excited that we have an administration that's like interested in doing anything about it. And
seriously,
the concept of, the World Health Organization, like being part of it is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or like the fact that we have a Center for Disease Control is like, that's awesome. And there are people in there who are like, hey, maybe we should do something about the fact that, people don't have money or income right now. Like, seems like at least now people who care.
Right. Totally. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Did any of you see unemployment?
No.
Anybody?
No.
What the fuck?
Didn't qualify self-employed.
Yeah, but you were supposed to through pandemic insurance. It's total bullshit.
By the time that I was signing up for it, like, good luck finding that link on the trail of things you had to get right. I was like on the phone. They were talking to like my previous employers to verify dates and stuff, and still nothing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because I know that I had to apply for unemployment, and then you get denied, and then the pandemic one would come up. It like popped up on my
you
profile,
saw it,
but it didn't do that for Tyler at all.
No, it was like a Pokemon that like you only got to see in the right place the right time.
The right moment. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh
yeah.
wow.
But I still haven't gotten like all the money they said that I would be able to get, because they're like, it's pending because I'm self-employed. Like, it's hard to, like show. I mean, I even did a spreadsheet of like, I'm getting paid through Venmo and PayPal from my students, and like, they just, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really, I don't think I'm going to see it. I saw a little bit of money, like $1,500, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you just shouldn't even claim. You should just say you're not working at all. I feel like I'm not self-employed. No, I'm not. Nope, I'm not self-employed.
Yeah.
I'm not making any money at all.
Yeah. Rather than like partially employed or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I totally should have. I would have made so much money if I didn't like say that I taught at all. Like, if I was making $450 a week teaching, if I didn't claim that, I would have gotten almost $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
From the pandemic unemployment. But because I taught that much, they're like, well, you don't get anything that week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Well, lesson learned.
Yeah. You can either have $4,000 or you can have your 1,800.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything would be nice at this point.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Well,
crazy.
I will send you ladies that information on that, so maybe you guys can apply for that $1,000 a piece.
Well, I'm so glad we could get together.
This
is great.
I'm glad
too. First installment of the Blood Moon Orchestra 2021.
Yay!
Yay! Featuring artists, female identifying, or whatever, but.
Yeah, female identifying artists, female featured artists,
female featured.
Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good way to be in the world.
Yeah,
we have to get all the ladies back together.
Yep, we do, especially with having a female vice president now. I can't tell you, I seriously started crying when she was getting sworn in, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm so happy. I was seriously tearing up. It was great.
It was kind of like a fuck you to every single guy that ever told me I couldn't do shit because I was a girl. You know, I mean, I spent a lot of years listening to bullshit from guys and just having them try and make me feel bad about myself. And it was just kind of like, yes, this is what we get now. We finally, not only did we, you know, just spend the last 4 years with a total asshole, psycho narcissist, right?
Mm-hmm. It was an emotionally abusive relationship.
It was totally emotionally abusive relationship. And now we have a woman in place, you know? And it's interesting because everyone's like, you know, I'm hearing all the, oh, Biden sucks. He's this, he's that. It's like, dude, you know, can we please have some perspective? Please have some perspective. Like, we have a female in office now. Can we at least celebrate that? Yes, I get that he's an 80-year-old white man. We also have a 50-something-year-old woman of color.
But he's also making such a point of bringing so much more diversity into it's night and day. It's completely
night and day. So, agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
it's wonderful.
It's lovely.
Yeah. It's movement in a direction that's going to take us back, or not forward, I should say, forward, away from where we have been, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting opportunity coming back from that last 4 years, specifically the most recent year. The shift is significant, and like we actually, if yesterday was a very momentous day, meaning that if we carry that forward, the momentum can really do some change. And so like now is actually a very, very, very important time to be a woman and an artist both. Mm-hmm. Because like what we talk about, what we present, what we put our energy into, it does make a difference. And it is a time to do things like that. It's a momentous time. We gotta take that energy and do something with it, because it felt like for a long time there was like nothing we could do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hopelessness.
Right.
I love your positive energy, Heather. That's really
That's really Heather's like my little guru sometimes. You know, she doesn't even know it, but sometimes I just need to talk to her because she just keeps things kind of steady, logical, and magical. So.
Ooh, available logical, if you need, like encouragement or just like any sort of perspective that's different than what you're used to. You can always do that.
Hell
I love that. Logical, magical.
Nice.
That could be a Blood Moon Orchestra topic.
It's a song. Right.
I'm going to write it down.
Next album.
Write it down. Maybe we could pass some beats around, put a thing on it.
Hell yeah.
That would be great. That would be so great.
Logical, it would be kind of cute if we did if this month's full moon was like some clips from this that are like nice and fun, you know, little moments, and then like each featured artist with like a little blurb about them and whatever song they want to share. Mm-hmm. And then we could either put like a little clip of maybe one of our past recordings, just like, hey, do you remember this moment in Blood Moon Orchestra history?
Right.
Or if we wanted to, we could like put together a little jam, like even just a groove, even something simple that's like, hey, this is our groove this month.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, well, that actually might be a really cool idea, Heather. Like, come up with a jam for people to make songs about. Hey, this is the groove of the month. Make up a song to this.
Good idea.
Right.
See all the different versions
that.
of that song that come out. That's cool. That's a fun idea.
Let's do that.
People, and that again, that's such a not again. I haven't said this already, but what's so great about what you guys do is that you're giving people the opportunity to do something that everybody kind of needs to do, which is like express, create. Like we all like, we need an outlet like that. And that's what's cool about what you guys do, is that like, it's not just you guys that are doing it. It's like, it's inclusive and it's important. So yeah.
Well, creating space and an atmosphere in which under normal circumstances would never be able to happen.
Yeah.
People aren't allowed to just walk up on stage and join a band. It's just not how the world works. So,
it's a community for sure that we were building. So, keeping it alive.
That's right. Nice. Tekla, thank you so much for joining us. It's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
Oh,
so nice.
You gals.
You gals. I know, right? Beautiful humans.
Yeah.
All I gotta do, babe, is be in a room with you, yeah. And all you gotta do, baby, is be in the room with me, babe. Now I can't help it. Oh, if we lock eyes, yeah. 'Cause if it's just you and I, oh, it could be just you and I. Even though all these people are in here too. 'Cause I'm in a room with you, baby. And it seems like it's just me and you. It's the way that you're moving, baby. I think I love all you gotta do is touch me, baby. And I'm only thinking of you. All you gotta do is brush my hair, baby. And all I wanna do is you. It could be everyone around us, baby. And there's a band on the stage in front of us, babe. But it can be just you and me, babe. 'Cause I'm in a room with you. Yeah. I think I love you. I think I love you. T over here on the keys.